mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family. It's your mom and your dad.
Wow.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Family, this season of Love is Blind has left me with some questions. Like, I find myself watching these episodes just with a staggering amount of questions.
Yeah.
So we just watched episodes 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And one big question that I'm left with is, obviously last week or a few weeks ago, I was wondering about let's go.
Yeah.
Why is every man saying let's go after a proposal?
Yeah.
This week, I'm wondering, as we're seeing into many of these men's homes, apartments, etc., and it's something I've noticed every season, but it really hit me this season. Why does every guy own a guitar?
Interesting.
I want a scientific study. I want research. I want surveys everywhere. Why does every man own a guitar? We see in Joe's apartment, he's got a guitar. Haven't heard that he plays.
Yeah.
We see in Nick's
the very few things he has in his place.
He has a guitar prepped and ready for perhaps serenading. I don't know. In Nick's home, there is a very shiny, I believe, electric guitar.
Yes.
I feel like if Nick played the guitar, we would hear about it.
Sure.
Right? I feel like we would relentlessly hear about it, like his skiing, like all of his different sports things.
Isms. I mean, a man of many interests.
You know what? Say what you want about Nick. A man of many interests.
The hobby king,
many more than me. And you know what? Shout out to that, and that alone is that it's impressive.
You're not even in his ballpark.
I know he would put his nose down and laugh at me.
But to your point, the guitar, here's what I think it actually is.
Tell me, is it a requirement when one moves out of one's house, if one is a man, that he must get a guitar just in case?
Yeah, well, I think what it is it's a romantic idea that never comes to fruition.
Okay.
So like playing guitar sounds romantic to the non-guitar player.
Okay.
Then you start learning and you're like, this is way too hard.
Yeah, my fingers hurt.
Exactly.
I got to build up calluses.
So I think it's one of those things that like you get one or someone has one and then you're like, and they're like, I don't want this. And like, I'll take it. And then you bring it home and then you're like, I'm going to be the guy that can play guitar. And then you start learning it and you're like, screw it. But you don't want to like throw it away. Because let's be real, throwing away a guitar is kind of crazy, right? You're like, when do I go out to the garage and just put it in the garbage?
You can donate. You don't have to throw away something, my God.
Giving away the guitar is a move. It doesn't take up that much space. You're kind of, so it's, I think it's like the classic, like I was always going to learn that thing.
You don't think
and every guy kind of has that, like I was going to be the guy that could party, that could pull it out and be like, today is going to be the day. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. See, the way that it hit me, and that this makes sense to me. This makes sense.
So they were all wanting to be this guy.
Right.
And they never, Joe has so many self-help books. You think he would have bought like a guitar,
a guitar
lesson book, a guitar help book.
The way that it
By the way,
hit
they were
me,
like in boxes. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like he was pulling, like he hadn't read them yet.
Well, okay, so to this point, the way that the guitar was hitting me initially was kind of like Joe with his books in a box.
Yes.
He's meant to
his life's in a box.
Touché. He's meant to put them out on a coffee table or a shelf to be like, I'm a reader.
Oh, you're saying performatively.
It's more of a performative, here I am with my books.
How to make $1 trillion.
This is me as a trillionaire and how to make $1 trillion. That is the guitar, where it's like I get the guitar or I take the guitar to put it out so that when a potential partner comes over, it's a peacocking thing where it's like, oh yeah, this old thing, you don't want me to play it.
Yes.
You don't want me,
Exactly.
maybe later.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a women like rock stars, right? Type of thing.
I think there's a little bit of that, but I also think it's just kind of like, I think it's like, but again, I think it's like I wanted to be the guy that did this. It ended up not working out, but I'll still put it out as a signal of cool.
Okay. Second question that these episodes have left me with.
Yes.
So I come before you all humbly asking this.
Yeah.
Completely contrite, humble. I am not an athlete. nor am I someone who works out a lot. So I ask you, is a chicken shake normal?
Oh my God.
Is it a common thing for, instead of using protein powder, to take a chicken breast, put some, Crystal Light powder and blend it?
Well, I looked it up.
Is this a common practice?
I looked it up.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, okay, you don't come upon this.
No, I don't.
Right?
I didn't
like,
think so.
This is like a bodybuilder's secret thing that
Sure.
like Mr. Olympia did. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like if
Arnold,
you're into that.
Arnold
Sure.
did it every morning.
In a documentary
Yeah.
or, you know, in Rocky, they did the whatever.
Sure.
No. I Googled like chicken smoothie, basically like whatever. And like the result thing said, this became popular due to a reality TV show, blah, 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 where this guy does this.
way.
Yeah. So like this is
Jordan's
not
known for this now.
Well, no, it's just more like the AI or whatever, you know, on Google said this is what this is. So it wasn't like, oh, this is a popular thing that he took to use. No. This is like AI was like, the only recollection I know about this is from this TV show. So he created this on his own in a vacuum.
I have so many more questions now beyond that, because so again,
I don't have questions. I have judgments
well,
about this because I know what he's trying to do.
What do you mean?
Well, it's truly insane. What he's trying to do is he's looking at it like, well, okay, well, it's great. I got my protein and I got my hydration. Let's combine it all. But he's forgetting he's a human being, right? Let's forget he's a human. And so because he forgot he was a human being, he did an insane thing like this, as opposed to realizing that like life's not about
just
like,
making it as
putting
simple as
nutrients into head.
Right? Because for
Dude, when
me,
he had the foam on his lip,
okay.
Chicken foam.
For me,
because for a second I forgot it wasn't like, you know, berry foam, like, but it's chicken foam. Okay. Unreal. Dude.
So for me, I'm gonna be sick. For me, I thought maybe I'm like, is this something we're trying to save money? Because I'm like, I don't want to be. So that I was looking up, because again, I don't know anything about, you know, about athleticism and gains at the gym, because I just, you know, I hit my walk pad and that's kind of where it lives and dies. So I was looking, because I know protein powder can be expensive, but I was finding some what seemed to be great protein powder for, I know it's not cheap, but like $15 for a big tub. So I'm like, okay, there are other ways around this. You can even throw the Crystal Light into the protein powder if that's what you want.
Eat the chicken. Take a fork and eat it.
Anyway,
the blending for speed is insane. Your day's so busy that the 14 seconds it takes to blend versus eat is like, I am so strapped for time.
I am, you know, attempting to not be judgmental, but I will just say the idea of kissing after was something that I could not stop processing. Anyway,
oh my God,
these are a few of my many questions that I had watching these two episodes, because this cast is wild. They're wild. They're wild, and we need to talk about them today. And we're going to talk about episodes 8 and 9 of Love is Blind Season 9. And I want to get into it.
I cannot wait.
There's
a lot to talk about.
Because there's a lot to discuss, per usual, with these people.
Are off the rocker.
It's a little off the rails this season. So let's talk about these episodes. But first, family, let's take a quick pause. So because I don't want to think about these stressful couples for just a moment, I would like to talk instead about how it's officially that time. The holiday calendar is filling up, the school events are piling in, and my group chats are already like, what are we doing for Secret Santa? And listen, this year, I refuse to be the person panic buying at 11 p.m. 2 days before, okay? Not happening. So I am going straight to Uncommon Goods, because Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful, with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. And truly, I get lost on their site in the best way. Every single thing feels personal and thoughtful, instead of oh, cool, another candle. Last night, in fact, I completed about 90% of my holiday shopping on Uncommon Goods, because there are so many amazing things. Mom and Dad, if you're listening, turn it off. they're not listening. But for my mom, I got her this custom tray that has a printout of the map of the town that she grew up in, Switzerland. She's going to absolutely love it. And for my dad, I got him this custom coffee table book that has these old news clippings from his favorite football team. They're going to be obsessed. I'm obsessed. I love Common Goods so much. Like so many unique things, and they're going to love them.
Yeah, their site is a gold mine. And what I love is that it feels personal too. Nothing mass produced, nothing generic. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses, so every gift feels special and thoughtfully chosen. I was scrolling the other night and found this customizable sound wave art print. You upload a voice memo and they turn it into a framed piece of art. I'm like, okay, that's actually such a cool and meaningful gift. Stuff like that is why Uncommon Goods has something for every type of person. Your foodie friend, your bookworm sibling, your sports obsessed uncle, the cousin who only wants STEM toys. They've got it all.
They've got it all. And something I love, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. It's like your gift means something good twice. So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/momdad. That's uncommongoods.com/momdad for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Okay, let's talk Love is Blind. And by the way, family, so just schedule-wise, just so you know, obviously today we're talking about episodes 8 and 9. And then next week, tune in for 2 episodes, Wednesday and Friday. We're going to cover the rest of the season. We're doing 1 episode with 10 and 11. And then the Friday episode, we're going to cover the wedding and the reunion. So stay tuned for that next week, 2 episodes. And then the following week, I think we're going to do like a holiday family call home type episodes. So if you have any call home questions, anything you want to ask your mother and father, any advice going into the holidays, I know can be tough, relationship drama, whatever it may be, go ahead and send your voice memos to the call home hotline and we'll get to that in like 2 weeks.
Also, I'd love any like insane stories from the holidays too. Just
that's fun.
Just like family insanity that went down.
Yeah.
Those are
Let
always
us not
fun.
all feel alone.
Yes.
Let's just talk about
just
our
like
trauma
this one
together.
time my uncle, everyone went nuts and fought or whatever. Any good stories you got?
Send them so we don't feel alone.
Because I feel like we all got
trauma.
something. We all got some stories of just like stuff that went off the rails.
Let's have a nice chat about it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So, disclaimer per usual, because that's what your mama does. If you don't know, this is our first time watching Love is Blind season 9. We know no spoilers, even though this season came out many weeks ago. All we are up to is episode 9 at this point. So if anything has come out, we don't know about it, okay? Because we haven't looked up anything. If we're saying wonderful things about a terrible person, we don't know yet. If we're saying terrible things about a wonderful person, we don't know yet. This is just, as far as we know, no spoilers, so be patient and forgive us if that's the case. Good?
You know what I like about your not your spoilers, your disclaimers, is you're kind of acting through it too. Like you're not just going, hey guys, real quick. You go, is that it? You make it spicy and fun. So I will say that. Even though I don't love disclaimers, I really love that you make it fun.
Thank you.
You're like a teacher who's kind of like, we have to talk about this boring thing today in class, but I'm going to make it fun. It's very sweet.
Do you know that's one of my deep, heartfelt fantasies is to become
a fun teacher
who changes kids' lives.
Yeah, you want the movie version.
I want the Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, you want
Robin
and
Williams.
all these kids look back on their successful stories and they go, "Who was it? It was 3rd grade, Miss Ambrose."
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, sure.
And to be the teacher who is let me lean into my actor and one day walk in and the kids are like, "Oh, it's a normal day."
And that famous
boom,
actor attributes his love for acting he got from.
But it's they go in and boom, I'm dressed up like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I am in character.
Everyone remembers that teacher, that
of
one.
Course. And I'm in character the entire day. Now, the irony of this is, would I ever have the constitution or patience to do that? No. So shout out to all of you amazing teachers out there, but it is a fantasy. It's like wishing I could ballroom
bunch of kids,
dance.
You're like, hey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Oh, you again, you're back. Interesting.
Like, I got my one kiddo who I'm obsessed with, and I shout out to everyone who's out there teaching. Okay. So let's go couple by couple. And can we please talk about Allie and Anton first? Can we please talk about them? Because some stuff went down that made me giggle.
It just feels like it's like every day it's the kettle that's heating up.
It was that. It's interesting because their dynamic.
It's just like, everyone's just feeling a lot and not saying what they're feeling a lot. Yes.
And it's interesting because we'll talk about what happens at the lunch or dinner or whatever it was. And then we didn't see the conversation happen with them. But we start where we get more of a dynamic of their work schedule. So they both work nights.
Right.
Which inherently I think it's so gnarly.
So gnarly. Just be like, I feel like you just always be tired.
I don't know how you could ever get used to it.
Yeah, because you're always like your mornings, your nights, your morning, and it's like they're both up for 24 hours. It's just tough.
That's so intense. But I guess if you're with a partner, it's better that if you both work at nights, because then at least you're not constantly missing each other. 100%. But we start their time together out where they're both coming back from a 24-hour shift. And I have to say a shout out to Allie, an apology, because this season, when they were showing all these previews about her, of course we had the conversation with her about that she wants a bigger ring.
Yeah.
Trust and believe the woman is bougie. Okay, the woman wants the finer things, but I felt like a lot of these previews were leading us to believe that she was just like, I don't clean, I don't cook, I don't want to work.
Right.
This woman's getting off of a 3-day nursing shift.
Yeah.
That's gnarly. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So this woman's working her ass off. And then I think she even said when they were eating together that she was like, I have work again tonight. 4 nights nursing.
Yeah, I think where we kind of missed it, or where at least the show kind of led us to believe, and obviously there's more to see. We'll see. You know what I mean? We don't know, which is where we're currently at, is that hard worker likes her nice things. I think that's the thing. And he's scared of that.
Yeah, he's like,
because she's saying stuff like, I want to maybe go back to school, and if I go back to school, I'm not working, so you can provide for both of us, right? And he's like, yeah, totally, and I can still get my Botox, right? He's like, maybe, and it's like, we're gonna get a nicer place kind of energy. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, hey, like, I want nice things, I want to keep going up, just want to make sure that you're on board for this. And he's definitely like swallowing how he really feels.
Yes. And she keeps asking him. She's just like, what's wrong? You're not telling me what's wrong.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll tell you what's wrong. Nothing. It's like, you're stressing me out.
And he's just digging into his steak and eggs and drinking his mimosa.
Which is the beginning of another issue.
It's the beginning of another issue. And she even made a comment while they were making breakfast together.
I've never done this.
She's like, wow, middle of a
once in a while, it's okay, I guess.
Work week, and we're having mimosas at 7 a.m, mid work week. Okay, yeah, I guess this is new. And at first when I was seeing this, I'm thinking, well, they're on a TV show together. It's one of their first weeks in their new place together. It's celebratory. Yes. That's kind of how it hit me. Yes. But his dynamic, he's, like you said, he's getting tight, and it's interesting then too,
he's stressed.
She brings up bank accounts, and he's like, well, when we're married, we're gonna get a joint bank account, and she's like, well, I was thinking we have a joint bank account and then our separate bank accounts. And I'm like, preach it, queen, because guess what, your father and I have.
And it was very funny when she goes, because she was kind of being cute about the fact that she didn't. Sure. He's like, why would you need that? Why would you want it separate? And she goes, because I don't want you knowing how much I spend on Botox. Like, that is very funny.
And let me tell you,
real.
Let me tell you something, family, okay? So your father and I, personal information, we have a joint account, and we also still have our own separate accounts. And every once in a while,
where she does all her devious secrets.
Because we trust each other, and you got to trust each other in the relationship, or else I don't recommend this, right? Like, you got to be a safe place. But every once once in a while, I'll use my account to do a little something.
I don't think it's trust. I think it's willful ignorance.
It's willful ignorance.
You know what I mean? It's like just turning a blind eye and just being like, I don't want to look.
And we want each other where it's like, hey, sometimes you're going to make a purchase and I'd be like, what's that about? But you're not doing anything outlandish. I'm not doing anything outlandish.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys, she can paint this as some sort of like, equitable issue, but let's be real. It's a one-sided issue. It's okay. I think anyone in a relationship out there knows there's one of you. And that's okay. It just is what it is. And that one, if you are that one, you're going to say stuff like, well, we both, both of us are going to be doing stuff. And if you're the other one, you're going to be going, no, it's just one of them. So it's okay. It just is what it is. There's always one. And we love them.
And it's me.
I got my own issues. Let's get into it.
But if I want to buy many books that are going to just cost... At the end of the day, sometimes when you have your own accounts, the other person knows what's going on, but sometimes when you don't see it, it just makes it sometimes a little smoother.
Yeah.
So, and also too, let's be real here. If there's a potential divorce, I don't know. There's just many things. I think I'm like, shout out to what Allie's saying, but he's not loving it. He's also but he's not with everything she's saying. He's not putting like a foot down and being like, this is not what I like in a relationship.
They're both very chill and stressed about it.
Yes.
So they're both stressed about their own issues regarding the relationship.
Yeah.
But none of them are flying off like Joe and Madison or like there's no tears. Like they're very calm.
Very.
Very relaxed.
Very.
So I will say that in their favor is that like whatever their feelings are, they're not flying off on each other. They're very
reactive.
Calm, very unreactive. So I give credit where credit is due in that world.
Yes.
Is like, hopefully they don't bury it too far to where they're not talking about it. But Allie specifically feels like she really is good at communication because she does like speak about things, test the waters, but doesn't like trip out. Like even what happens kind of later on with all the stuff, she's not like, we need to fucking talk. She's kind of like, later on, I'd like to talk about something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
She's very calm.
Sure.
So but maybe it's the nurse thing too, where you're handling stress all the time, but she's very like.
And it sounds like his job is super stressful too.
Yeah, they both are just kind of mellow about things. So that is nice. Because it could be a lot more electric.
But his blood pressure is building because he's realizing like, oh, this woman, the supermodel that I'm with does have things that she wants monetarily that are not what I expected in my life because I like to spend my money on, top shelf bottles and at the strip clubs every single night. Okay, so there's that. And then on her end, towards the very end of the conversation, she keeps asking him, tell me what's wrong. I can tell there's something wrong. Tell me what's wrong. You're off. And then when he was walking away, she's like, can you not kiss me with your eyes open? I think she's getting the ick. But not like
she's been doing
ick.
that since day one. I mean, since the first day they kissed, they're like, why are you opening your eyes?
I think she's getting the ick, but not the ick in the way that like he's giving her specifically the ick, but I think the situation has officially given her the ick. I think she's very much like, I'm icked out by the situation. I don't know why I've done this, but I do like him, but like, I can't believe I'm about to get married. I think that's what's happening. And so then there's those comments where it's like, can you just fucking kiss me with your eyes closed?
Right.
Like, there's just a little zingers.
Yeah.
There's a little zingers.
Little zingers.
But then my most favorite part, I think, of both of the episodes is when Allie and Anton get together with Anton's friend and girlfriend.
Of 4 months. It's like a new girl. I mean, pretty new. Like this isn't like, a married couple that like is his like bestie for 10. It's like this guy he met like a year ago or 2 years ago and like his new girlfriend. So it's a very funny, like, this is who you should meet energy. You know what I mean? I was a little weird out like, okay, did they ever get into reason why the family is not meeting? It was just kind of like, okay, meet my kind of party buddy. Like that's a wild, like, hey, welcome to my life. Meet my guy I go to strip clubs with.
It was his chosen family.
It's very funny.
But the friend was killing me right out the gate because the friend was just like, fuck, you guys, I fucking get it. Like,
and you could tell he was on his best behavior too.
He was on his best behavior. And he's like, fuck, like after our first date together, we had just basically moved in and fuck, we've been fucking together for 4 months.
Dude, it's been fucking
so
sick.
Like we understand.
Shots, anyone? Dude, him saying shots at like lunch was crazy. Honestly, maybe it's just me too. Like, listen, I've partied with the best of them. I've spent many nights, right?
Same.
But shots at dinner, that's like if we're ramping up to go to like obviously that doesn't even happen anymore. But like when I was younger and like Shots at dinner was like, hey, we're at a bachelor party. Hey, we're about to go out till 4 a.m. So we're kind of getting it going at dinner. But just to be like with your two girlfriends, like chilling for a nice dinner and meeting each other for the first time and being like, let's get shots going.
Evan,
that's a crazy move for anyone.
I really don't even think it was dinner.
It blew my mind.
I think it was lunch. I think it was a solid 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
It's just
time.
crazy. Like, let's get shots going with just me, like a double date to get shots going is crazy. First meet. Again, not like we've been friends forever. First meet shots is crazy.
Like, I get like, hey, we're getting drinks, we're cheersing, but shots? Is wild.
Before you even ordered the like meals is crazy talk. So yeah, so she agrees. So she's immediately just kind of like, this is a weird
it's like,
vibe.
This guy is pushing, the friend is pushing for shots.
But then he goes, so he says shots right away, and then they kind of give it a beat, and then Anton goes, all right, shots, like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, we're doing shots.
So,
but then we also hear that the friend, they start talking about how much Anton and Allie have in common. Confirmation, by the way, that Anton wasn't yanking our chain. Like when he said that he worked at McDonald's. Remember how during the Pods family, we were like, is this guy making up all these things that him and Allie have everything in common? It was all true. Because the friend confirms, wait, he was fuck. You worked at McDonald's too. That was his first gig when he was manager. We'd shut down McDonald's so that we could drink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
and then she's like, oh, I bet the franchise owner is really devastated that you like ruined his business. So she's just like, so what's being revealed is he's a party boy. He likes to party. He likes to drink. And his kind of chill, laid back demeanor is kind of a false flag of like party boy, right? So he's chill. He's like super laid back, super calm, whatever. Doesn't give you the initial feeling that he's like raging going to strip clubs, which is kind of his backdrop.
And you know what's funny about it is
his friend gives that.
His friend gives when are we going to the strip club? Yeah.
But Anton doesn't. He's super laid back, but now we're kind of seeing it.
But this was what I found interesting, especially, is that throughout, their time in Mexico, when the whole crew is drinking, he's always chill. He was
probably drinking, but maybe he's better at hiding how drunk he was or whatever. He was never the sloppy one.
You know what I think it is? Professional party boy. He's a professional party boy.
He knows when to and when not to.
You see like the Joes who it's like, hey, maybe he doesn't rage so often because he doesn't know. It's like, hey, you're drinking too much. You're going to be sloppy. It's going to be disastrous. Yes. Anton is like, I do this for a living. Yeah. I know. First of all, I'm handling my booze. And then second, I know exactly when to have the glass of water, when to drink this type of drink over this type of drink. Professional
partier. So like, again, up until this so even still, like there's nothing he's done other than the fact that like he's having the drinks.
No.
He's not acting out.
No.
So it's not like he's having the mimosas and then he's sloppy at breakfast. No. He's having the shots and then he's a nightmare at dinner. He's always in control. So that's probably what's making her struggle more and less, is kind of this like, I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it. Right. This is what's happening.
Well, and then when she goes to the restroom with the friend's girlfriend, this is then when the can of worms is opened, where if I was Allie, I'd be tripping because of the do I know who I'm marrying moment. So let's talk about that, but we got to take another quick pause first. So family, some of these couples say that they want children together. So parents, caretakers, gather around. A few years ago, one Monday morning, little Ember looked at me dead serious and told me her old vitamins tasted like stale candy someone stepped on. And I mean, fair. Most kids' vitamins are basically candy in disguise, loaded with sugar, weird chemicals, gummy junk, all the stuff growing kids shouldn't be eating. So we switched to Hiya, and it has genuinely been a game changer, okay? These are super powered chewable vitamins made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy additives, but somehow they taste amazing. Like, Ember actually asks for them every morning. I'm still shocked. And the bottle moment, when your first order comes, you get this really cute bottle, and then Hiya sends eco-friendly refills every month, and they included stickers with this first bottle. Ember decorated hers like it was a full art installation and spelled out Vitamin Queen. And honestly, she is the moment. And so is Haya. Haya is the moment, okay?
Yeah, Haya's legit. What I love is that they actually fill the most common gaps in modern kids' diets, the stuff they need and don't always get. It's made with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies plus 15 essential vitamins and minerals, all the good things that help support immune system, energy, concentration, teeth, bones, everything growing kids need. And Haya is non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, nut-free, gluten-free, and gelatin-free. They're also Clean Label Project certified and third-party tested for heavy metals and microbials in a qualified GMP-compliant lab, so you know you're getting something safe and nutritious, not mystery candy in a cartoon bottle. And Haya's made for kids 2 and up, delivered right to your door, which I appreciate because I do not need another errand.
And speaking of errands or avoiding them, are you tired of battling with your kids to eat their greens? Haya now has Kids Daily Greens Plus Superfoods, a chocolate flavored greens powder designed specifically for kids, packed with 55 plus whole food ingredients that support brain power, development, and digestion. Just scoop, shake, and sip with milk or any non-dairy beverage for a delicious and nutritious boost your kids will actually enjoy. Ember loves it, like loves it. It's amazing. And we've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/mom and dad. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hayahealth.com/mom and dad, hayahealth.com/mom and dad, and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Okay, so back to Allie and Anton. So Allie and his friend's girlfriend go to the bathroom. While they're in the bathroom, I do want to mention that the men are still at the table and they talk for a moment.
Yeah.
This is a window into professional party boy, because Anton, professional party boy, who's had a certain demeanor this entire time, does say to his friend, he's like, yeah, I know she's bad, but like, I don't know. There was just an energy where I was like, what do you like?
I mean, yeah.
What do you actually like?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I think his favorite thing about Allie is that he can go, hey, right?
She's bad, right? Yeah.
Like, he was very excited to show his friend, his new girlfriend, and he was very excited with this whole thing. And I think he's underestimating how much of a serious person she is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, she's a serious person who has goals and kind of wants to elevate, and is like, she's like, I get home from work, 8 hours, I go to the gym, I go to bed. Like, I'm a professional. I got my shit together.
She wants to leave Denver because she's like, I don't like the party.
Exactly.
I want to go to Florida, which I'm like, isn't Florida wilder?
Listen,
but
it's
whatever. But she doesn't want to party.
Yeah. And I think that she's just kind of like, I think this is kind of my original thought, was like, he kind of sold himself as this way. And I think this is now we're seeing it. And I think that he's just like not clearly as serious about like his daily schedule and kind of whatever. And she's a lot more. And so I think that's just kind of what's happening, is like, in his true element, he wants to party, he wants to work and then party.
Yeah.
Work, party. She's like, no, work, schedule, get things done. And I think that's where we're running into.
I just like when he was having that conversation with his buddy when they weren't at the table, and his buddy's like, dude, I'll be honest with you, I thought this was going to last 2 weeks for you. And
because we know how you are.
We know how you are. And Anton's laughing and he's like, yeah, I know, we're just a couple of brats, we're a couple of menaces.
Yeah, which is like so gross.
It's so corny.
2 guys saying we're like menaces is like so brutal.
But I'm just like, Anton had been like the one who had settled in my brain where I was like,
we were wrong about him.
Anton's good vibes. But now all I can picture is him just being a nightmare at the club. Like him and his buddy being the guy with the bottle service, being like, yeah, you can't cross your hot friend. She can come through the ropes, but you can't. You got to stay there because this is we paid for this. Yeah. We paid for this section, okay? And like for this bottle, so she can have it. You can't. That's and all this, and I can't get past that in my mind. So Allie and the girlfriend, I'm so sorry, I forgot her name, go to the bathroom.
The saboteur.
And thank God for the saboteur. This is funny. This is what when we say girl, this woman is out here making sure Allie knows, also making sure is protecting herself and protecting Allie, because you can tell this woman is like, my boyfriend is a nightmare when he's around Anton. And I better let Allie know, because I also don't want, he's now hasn't been partying as much because we're together. I do not want him to go back to his old ways. Let's just say she doesn't know. Maybe Allie's like, oh, I'm super down for them to rage 24/7 together. Right. And this girlfriend's like, hey, just FYI. So then she makes a comment where she's just like, wow, I never thought Anton would be getting married. And Allie's like, he's not the type you'd think would get married. She goes, no, not really. Then the friend says, one question about the bachelor party. They aren't going to a strip club, right?
It was so funny to like have that be one of your first conversations you have with someone. Is very funny.
And I felt it in my gut though, because for this girlfriend, I felt like I don't like when my boyfriend does this. Yeah. And so I'm feeling the anxiety of knowing this is coming. And so I'm just like putting this question out here, and Allie's like, I don't know. And then friend says, well, Anton likes the strip clubs and he goes with Joseph, and I don't like that. It's
the ultimate just like exposer.
And Allie's like, I'm not okay with that. And I told Anton that I'm not okay with that in a relationship. Yeah. And she's like, he told me. So Allie then says, he told me that Joseph, the friend, is kind of a big party guy and he drinks a lot. And the friend's like, hey, just
That's
FYI.
a classic move, by the way.
It's both of them.
It's a classic move to be like, my buddy's a nightmare.
Hey, babe.
Like, get ahead of it, like make your friend look horrible so that like when he shows up, I've already kind of figured out that like I won't be included in his vibe.
Listen, babe. So you're
like, I love him. He just needs help. That's why I go to strip clubs with him, because he needs help.
You're gonna meet my friend Joseph, and I just want to just put this out here first and foremost. He's gonna be talking about wanting to party a lot, drink, go to the strip club. He's wild, and just know this.
I'm kind of a mentor of his, to be honest.
That's not me. Yeah. I take care of him, and so I like follow him around and make sure he's okay.
He's my little bro.
But like that's not who I am.
And I'm bummed that he's still like that.
And I talked to him about it, and he's been changing a lot now since he's been in this relationship. It's good for him. You're gonna meet his girlfriend. It's gonna be great. Yeah. But like if he says it, just know that's not me.
No, like I'm kind of just helping him through some hard times.
So
great.
Am cracking up.
So this is kind of really when, you could tell her like something's real. Like I had my suspicions with the mimosas and with the shots and with the vibe, but like now I'm really being proven right that my suspicions were correct.
And she is in ITMs being like, listen, I'm not a party person. I didn't think that Anton was a party person, and it's not the lifestyle that I'm into. Yeah. And it's not something that I'm going to be okay with if we're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me, and from hearing everything we've heard from Allie so far, that she's great at communicating. I'm sure she has communicated with him that is not something she's okay with. In fact, she mentioned that in the bathroom. Yeah. So this is now she's in shock. And this is where my heart hurts for Allie, is I'm like, she's having that moment where it's like, who am I sleeping next to every night? Because the guy in the pods and who I've been with now since and in Mexico is telling me he's the guy who, he had his party days. He had those days, but he's not that way anymore. Yeah. And we're on the same page. And now I'm at a restaurant with him at 2 p.m. and he's ordering shots.
Incredible.
Okay. And then later when everybody gets together at the Western party, the bull riding, rodeo party, she's telling the girls that she has him at his family.
I do love that she doesn't hold back at all. It's hilarious because he does the like, we're cool, man. Everything's great. And she just goes, it's a nightmare. He's this way. He's this way. He's this way. It's very funny. She has zero hold back. Whatever you're struggling with will be told to everyone.
I love it. Yeah, she's just like, everyone's like, oh, I'm doing great with my partner. And she's like, well, I'm nervous because he told me that he hasn't been to the strip club in over a year. And now I don't know what to believe anymore. Right. So now she's like, is this guy being honest with me or no? And now she's worried that he's being dishonest. And I think if I can speak for Allie, I'm sure the process for her is, okay, so it appears he wasn't honest to me about who he is. Yeah. And now I don't know if he's lying about everything in general. And if he's someone who likes to go clubbing, likes to go to the strip clubs, likes to party and drink till super late, if he was dishonest with me, will he be dishonest when he's out? Can I trust him in general? Will he be faithful? Like so many different things then that you're processing, especially like Allie said, for her, this isn't something she's comfortable with in their relationship. So it's like, okay, where's the line going to be? Is he on his best behavior right now? Yep. And then we're going to get a switch up because it's just not her lifestyle. And she said that he has been having beers every morning. Yeah. Which I get, it's his nighttime, but like having beers in the morning is
no,
intense.
but just in general, I think she's just kind of like, hey, I'm not a drinker, and this person's drinking every day, and that bothers me. So it's like it's not a I don't think it's a morality or judgment call on like a drinking issue. I think it just really is like I don't really drink,
right?
And I don't like to have that be our lifestyle.
Right.
And he's like, I do.
Yeah.
So and it's regularly, and so I think she's kind of like, ugh, you know what I mean? I'm just not my vibe.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
I think it's really
going to
come to a head up coming up soon. You can tell.
Yeah, I do not think there's any way that she's going to marry him.
No way.
I think he 100% would marry her.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's no way she's going to marry him.
Yeah, because he's kind of chill guy. He's like just the only thing that's stressing him out about her is the money thing. Is like that she's kind of like, hey, I would love to do this, this, and this, and he's like, So if I think if he made a lot more money, he'd just be like chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a stress. So I think he's feeling that. He's probably drinking more because of it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think he 100%, yeah, I agree. 100% would be with her though. And I think there's no way she's going to be with him. I think she's gotten the ick for the process a couple episodes ago. It's starting in, it's not a him ick, it's a process ick. And now that she officially has found out that he's a party animal and she feels like he's dishonest, this is almost like, it's like the gods have opened the clouds for her and been like, this is your sign.
Right.
Go forth and find someone else.
You're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. He's in his party phase and she's very much not, which is not a good combo. It's tough.
No, it's not. And I've seen friends go through, I mean, it's
tough.
That's, you got to be in the same place.
It's tough.
In that energy wise, in my opinion. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Let's talk about Joe and Madison.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my favorite guy, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Nervous Joe. Shady Joe.
Dude, he's just always, he can't look you in the eyes. He's always looking around. It's just like something, his whole life, it feels like a lie. Like you never know what he actually feels. Like he's just, you only get glimpses of his truth when he's drunk. You know what I mean? But basically what's happening.
Yes.
Is that he is not into Madison.
No.
He is not. He's panicking.
He's panicking.
And he wants to leave immediately. But he's also trying to be the good guy and trying to save face. And so he's lying. And she knows it. And she is also living in denial of like, I need to get out of here. But I also, maybe I'm just in my head. He is trying to send signals of SOS / maybe I could convince her to break up with me, so I'll get out of here. So I'm trying to sow seeds of doubt in her brain. Like, this is insane, right? You're not losing your mind. How's that even possible? And then she's going, well, I only get a little nervous when you make me nervous. And he goes, oh, no, I'm fine. Everything's good. Oh, no, I'm just saying. Oh, I guess I can't even speak my mind then. I guess I can't even talk about anything because you'll lose your mind. But what's happening is they're both so on edge because he wants out now and she knows it clear as day.
Yeah. Completely
agreed. But they both
agreed.
can't say a single truthful thing to each other.
He is so the guy who tells everyone he's a good guy. He is so that guy. He's just, I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
He's like, I can't mess this up.
Yeah.
Because I'm on television. And the perfect example to me of who Joe is when you see him in ITMs. He does or when he's talking to Madison, he does this thing where he does like the nervous, I can't say it. So later in the episode where he's talking about Nick and how he doesn't like Nick, in the ITMs, he does this thing where he goes, well, Nick, good guy, not for me, good guy. He would be, is he going to be the best man at my wedding? No, but not for me, but good guy, not my cup of tea, but good guy, where he does this thing when he's aware that the cameras are on him, he tries to play this nervous good guy thing, but then when we actually
crazy shit by doing that. It was way worse.
But I'm saying though, then when you hear him where the camera's still there but isn't ITM, when he's having a couple drinks, he's talking mad shit. He's just like, yeah, Nick's only doing missionary.
Yeah.
He's brutal.
Like all he had to do was just be like to camera to be like, hey, you know what? Like we don't really connect. So I don't really know much about him, but like I don't think he's just like our personalities don't blend. But instead he said way worse by playing this nice guy role. It's like so weird.
But that's what he's been doing this whole time. Mm-hmm. So when he talks to Madison or he's in the ITMs, very aware of the camera, he does this nervous like, well, I don't even know quite what to say. And even in the very first episode, he was telling the guys, I don't know how to talk to women. I get nervous. He plays this role. But then when the cameras aren't in his face and you hear him with his mic on and he's had a couple drinks, you get the real version, which is like the brutal version where he's talking mad shit and being mean to everybody.
And also kind of like saying stuff about Allie when she hops on the thing. You know what I mean? So it's like his drunkenness is what you really get.
Yes.
When he starts kind of being honest and it's like, yo, Allie's hot. Oh, I shouldn't even look because it's so hot. Oh, Nick's an idiot. He's horrible at sex. I hate that guy. Like he's because it's clearly pent up in him, all this untruth. So it just finds its way out with the booze.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the first scene we get of them, like you were saying, where he's trying to plant these seeds of doubt, when he is talking about how excited her family was when they found out that they were engaged and met via FaceTime. He's bewildered.
Doesn't make sense now.
About how open they are. And I felt like he was like, okay. So
they're hoping that maybe the family would kind of create a problem and then I could kind of make it worse.
He goes, okay, so they're going to make this really easy for me.
Yeah.
I believe wholeheartedly he's trying to find strategies. So his hope and prayer was that parents would be like, Madison, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Not that they'd be crying open arms. And he's like, wow, they were really excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she says, yeah, I haven't ever brought someone around. And he goes, oh, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He's any little thing he can find.
Something.
He's trying to use. And so then he has this open moment with her where he's like, this is insane though, right? Like, aren't you nervous about this? And what I think is happening is I think Joe went on this show, obviously to get followers, to get famous, and probably hoped along the way that he'd meet some woman that he was super into. Great.
100%.
Right? That's fine. I think that's what most people do, and I'm all about that. This is the issue. I think that Joe is thinking that, okay, I meet Madison, I vibe with her in the pods, I propose to her, I meet her, she's not my type. He's thinking that at some point, when the cameras are off, that him and Madison would have a conversation where they were both like, this is insane, right? We're just doing this for followers and we'll play this up. And I think he thought that they would have this commiserating conversation where they could both, play along to get to the end to get followers. The problem is he didn't think that he'd pick somebody or was with somebody who actually wants to marry him. So now he's like, okay, every time the cameras have been off, you're not down to have a conversation where we figure out how to make it all the way to the wedding and then break up and then we'll get followers and act like we're all good with each other and steal America's hearts and be the good people, but we just didn't work out. No, Madison is like, no, we're getting married. And he's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Like he's been waiting for that conversation and it hasn't come.
I truthfully also think he's a little shocked that she's so into him. I think he's giving very little. I think he's trying almost none, and I think it's icking him even more that she's into him so much without him even trying.
Yeah, you're probably
Does that make
right.
sense?
Yeah.
I think if she was like, I don't know either, I think he'd be a lot more like possibly into her because he's like, oh yeah, okay, we're on this. But the fact that she's like, without a shadow of a doubt, I think it's kind of like, oh, because he's like, I don't even like you. I'm not even showing you that I like you and you're still this into me. We're not on, you know what I mean? So I think he's kind of one of those guys too. Tough. Because I sense from her too that kind of desperation of like, I want to keep you, and I can sense that you don't want to be with me, which creates such an insecure like feeling.
Of course, and I feel it in my gut. It's terrible. But I feel like a lot of us have been there. That feeling where you're like, oh, the person clearly, it's not your person.
And then what you feel like you're kind of chasing them even more.
100%. And then that's when she does the whole thing of where he starts being such an asshole to her, saying these things, and then when she's not. Is obviously feeling insecure, then he's like, I guess I can't ever open up to
laughing,
you, making her feel bad. And then she does the thing where she takes the ring off and it's
drama.
She runs out because she wants him to chase her. And because she's like, I want affirmation, so I'm going to do it in an unhealthy way.
But it comes back to like him not being into her, him not giving her anything, and she's still coming back going, and she's trying to get something out of him. I'm going to take the ring off. Nothing. I'm going to go sit outside and cry loudly. Nothing. Like she's trying to get him to like show interest.
Yes. And I'm just like, oh, Madison, girl, no.
Just get out of there, dude.
Get out of there. But then we end up, we go to his place, meet his family. Yeah. Let's talk about that in a second, briefly. But we got to take another quick pause. So family, before we dive back into the chaos of this episode, I need to talk about something that has genuinely changed how I feel walking into all these holiday gatherings. And that is My hair confidence. Listen, I have been open about my hair thinning and shedding over the years, and full transparency, it used to stress me out every time I had an event or even like when we filmed content. There are so many products out there and half of them feel like empty promises. But a few years ago, a few friends I really trust kept telling me about their great results with Nutrafol. I was seeing the results with my own eyes, and so I finally tried it, and I am so grateful and so glad that I did. After a few months, I started noticing such a difference. I have way less shedding on my brush, and my hair, it was just feeling fuller and healthier, and it's grown so much. You can see it on the YouTube, okay? I have been so obsessed with my Nutrafol results. They have done so much for my hair, and honestly, heading into the holidays, that little boost of confidence, I'll take it. I will take it. It has been such a gift to myself. I am a forever Nutrafol fan. Forever.
Yeah, and Nutrafol is the real deal too. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. And what I appreciate is you can actually feel good about what you're taking. Nutrafol supplements are NSF content certified, which is basically the gold standard for third-party certification. They clinically test their final formulas using real measurements like hair counts, shedding levels, and texture, so you know they're actually tracking whether it's working. And here's the other thing. The holidays get busy fast, and gifting something that's thoughtful, practical, and actually supports someone's confidence, that is a win.
Exactly. This holiday season, Nutrafol is the perfect gift for anyone on your list, your mom or aunt going through menopause, a friend who just had a baby and is experiencing postpartum hair shedding, your husband, your father who's feeling that, yourself, or anyone looking to support their overall hair health. I actually have a family member who asked to get Nutrafol for their gift specifically for the holidays. It's an amazing gift. Like I said, Nutrafol has changed the game for me. I am so unbelievably grateful for Nutrafol. Give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol. Whether you're treating yourself or someone on your list, visibly healthier, thicker hair is the gift that keeps on giving. Right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and use promo code MOMDAD. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code MOMDAD for $10 off. Nutrafol.com, promo code MOMDAD. Okay, next we actually see Joe's place, which I have to say, shout out to him. It's very clean. It's very tidy. I love how there was the shelf or like the standalone thing with like the microwave. And she goes, "Oh, it's cool. It's kind of like a hotel room." Because that's how, like, hotel rooms, they have the microwave just on the table. Yeah, his space is small, but it is tidy. It is clean. Yeah. We love to see that, Great. It is bare, except for, he's got a couple photos of the high desert, which I had questions about. The only artwork he had was like 4 high desert photos.
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking a lot about the art. He just had it.
I just loves the high desert. I don't know, maybe that's where it's from. I don't know. Anyway, but we had the Bible, a PS5, a guitar.
PS4, by the way.
Was it PS4?
It was a PS4. He said PS5. Interesting.
Oh, was it really?
It was a PS4. They zoomed up on it. It said PS4.
And he said PS5.
And he said that's my PS5. So he's a liar, man. Through and through, you can't trust this guy. Even with
he's got his self-help books and a lot of meat in the freezer. The one thing I'll stand Joe with is he's got the Hexclad. He had a Hexclad pan, and I was like, shout out.
He left it. It was in the oven. Like, that's where he stored his pans.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is also it was giving college guy. Like, the whole vibe was very college guy.
It was college.
It was a college vibe.
But a neat college vibe.
It was neat.
Much neater than my home.
No, but like, I'm just saying, just the energy was very college guy.
It very much was. I'll keep it brief and say that I get the vibe of who Joe is with the Bible, acoustic guitar, PS4, and self-help books, and tons of meat in the freezer.
I mean, dare we say the most basic dude ever? It's just
Joe Rogan disciple energy. 100%. You know what I mean? It's Joe Rogan disciple energy.
He 100% is a defender. It's like a guy who's just like, dude, here's the thing. He has a lot of, it's just like 100% loves him. There's no question. We know the archetype. He is the archetype.
He is the archetype.
PS5. Oh, wait.
Also, just a total side note, always I'm very bewildered by how many religious people go on this show. I feel like most everyone who's on this show is religious. And maybe it's just like the form of Christianity that we were raised in.
You think that you're like, you gotta like be like evenly yoked in the whole thing, right?
I just felt like the way that, at least again, the Christianity we were raised in, it was like one of the biggest sins is divorce. And you're like, you're going to meet someone in like a 2 weeks and then altogether in a month get married. I don't know. I just felt like often in at least the Christian community we grew up in, it was like you court for a year and a half. You must meet the families and know them for a while. And then you're engaged for this amount of time and you're equally yoked and da-da-da-da-da. I don't know.
No,
it just
you're right.
surprises
It's a weird,
me.
the religious connection seems to be, or is it just like everyone's kind of religious? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's just most people are just kind of religious.
It just always surprises me. But then we meet Joe's family, and this was very interesting because
super interesting dynamic there.
We have the mom and the dad, the sisters, and then mom's ex-husband, I think.
Which I don't understand. Because I'm going, wait. Oh, was it maybe she was married before, then got married, then had Joe?
I think.
So maybe her first husband, and then Joe was the son of the second husband.
Or first husband is Joe's dad.
Yeah.
And then she got married, and then that guy maybe helped raise Joe, and then they got divorced later in life.
So she's been married twice.
And divorced twice.
I know what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's the option.
Or
Because
maybe
they didn't make it obvious. It was like,
I know,
it wasn't
I was
like,
a little confused.
it was like maybe just, and she kind of runs the show. She got both her exes there probably. It's kind of a vibe. She was like,
yes, queen.
and she didn't say a lot either. So she was kind of just in control. She's like, I have both my men here.
But mom and sisters were very welcoming, very nice. They seemed super thrilled. Mm-hmm. Dad looked at Joe a couple times and was like
he's trying to test. He's trying to see like, are we
doing here? And ex-husband was like, how do you
like
know?
Someone? Yeah.
But Madison crushed.
She bodied it.
She crushed the family dynamic, and they were all like, we're so happy for you in the end. We love her. We're thrilled for you. And then we have Joe.
Yeah.
Who in ITMs, he's like, I felt closer to her through this whole conversation than I have this whole time since the pods. He's like, that's Madison. That's who I fell in love with. So this is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
He did really like her in the pods.
Of course. Yeah.
And then when he saw her, he's not into her physically.
Yes.
But he really cares what his family thinks, and he has a young energy. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, well, my family loves her. So now there's this like, I made a good choice, right, mom and dad? And that's who I want to be with. And so he had a little spike for a moment after their blowout, where then they had then come together, and she was like, look, I have my ring back on, and so the dynamic is so toxic. But I think that's what that was. I think it was not like I actually want to be with Madison. It was kind of like mom and dad are proud of me. I did make a good call. That's who I fell in love with. And
he's trying to figure out a way to get to be with her. Like, there's no. I mean, like he doesn't want to. His whole body's saying, we don't want this. His whole identity is saying, get out. And then he finds these little moments where he's like, yeah, maybe this will work. Yeah. And that was maybe one to me. I think, because it was like, even she knows so clearly too. Because remember when they're like, so what was it like when you first saw each other? And she goes, his eyes were so big and he was very nervous. It's like, that's the takeaway. That's tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Ugh.
Well, they're then coming off of this high, and then they go to the group party, the Western rodeo. Yeah. And this is then when we see Allie get on the bull. And Evan and I said, we've been waiting for the moment that Joe was going to make a comment about Allie. Yes. We knew it was coming. And Joe and Jordan are giggling drunk in the corner. These two. Ugh. Joe's a terrible influence on Jordan.
Because Jordan is a sweet, nice dad who treats Megan well. They have a great connection. They have their issues for sure. But like he seems to be, in the second he gets around Joe, he becomes like a 22-year-old party boy. It's like,
get Jordan away from Joe.
Jordan can't hang with Joe.
I feel like a parent watching it being like, Jordan, you're not allowed to hang out with Joe anymore.
It's insane.
He's a bad influence on you.
And he immediately regresses.
And Jordan's just like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't be looking. And then Joe goes, yeah, because it's so hot. shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There
the boys
we go.
Are out.
There we go. And trust and believe, family. When Joseph and Madison do not work out because he will not marry her. And when Allie leaves Anton, trust and believe, who do you think's going to be sliding into Allie's
1
DMs?
billion.
You don't think Joe's going to be sliding into Allie's DMs? You don't think that he's going to try to hook up with Allie? Please. But then when we end up wrapping it, we have Madison. So Kait's there at this party, which we'll talk more about Kait, Nick's ex. And Madison and Kait are friends. We hear Madison telling Kait, she's like, for me and Joe, the physical is 100% there. He's like, I'm going to fucking get you pregnant. And I'm like, it hurts my body because it's like you feel, like my heart hurts so much for her because like, I feel it.
Of course.
I've been there.
Brutal.
Like you feel it. And then you're wanting to kind of make this elaborate story almost
Trying to make it seem like
make
it's better,
yourself feel better.
Tough.
Because I don't believe that that's what Joe's been saying necessarily.
And what happened? I'm trying to I feel like I didn't really grab it, or maybe they didn't really show what happened to them at the party. Like, why was she mad at him? Just because he wasn't paying attention to her, kind of thing.
I don't know if maybe we'll find out more in the next
they
episode.
didn't really show
but
it.
what we did see is that Joe starts doing shots.
Right.
So he's gonna get drunk.
He's gonna get wasted.
They're
again.
gonna I'm sure they'll get back home to the house, and then we'll have a round
another
2.
Sick blowout. They've been fighting more than they haven't been their entire relationship. But she's pissed at him at the party.
Yeah.
So
at the end. At first they're good, and then
she's like
by the
fuming.
end.
And so he's getting wasted again. And it's like, brother, you got 2 opportunities and you blow them both. That's so crazy. But he's obviously so stressed that he's just like, I got a drink to like.
Well, I think that it's not that he's stressed. I think that he just doesn't care about Madison.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, I don't care if she keeps getting mad at me because I'm
Yeah.
just going to try to find a way for her to break up with me anyway.
Yeah.
Best case scenario,
what he
feels
should
like
do is he should get absolutely wasted, act like an idiot, and he like try to get her to break up with you that way. Like that's what I almost feel like he's going to try to do.
But I think then there's the one part is that he doesn't want to look bad to the audience.
Exactly. That's
so it's
true.
like
He's
trying
still
to
very
find a
obsessed with that.
fine line of like
Dang.
making her break up with him.
Got
so
a
he
lot of
doesn't.
levels of.
God, it's so much. Anywho, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nick and Annie.
Oh yeah.
Nick and Annie, these two. So we start off by seeing, if you recall, the last time we saw Nick and Annie had, at least to me, seemed very intoxicated and was having her like, you never tell me that you love me, you never affirm me, go away, and then hold him and be like, no, get away from me, you don't even want to be with me. And he was like, what's happening? The conversation was all over the place. We start this episode with her basically chalking up her spiral to her being emotional and caring about him so much.
But they provide a little bit more context because she says like, I'm all in on you and you're still getting there. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. So what basically is being shown is that like,
I missed that.
Is that like she's head over heels in love and he is like, basically like, I'm going to need these 3 weeks to kind of get ready to get married to you. I'm not ready. She's like, so basically the conversation kind of goes like, or the way it wraps is that like, he's 80%, she's 100. Mm-hmm. And so, and she just needs to kind of be okay with that. And they're getting through it. So that's kind of the energy. It's not, so she wasn't quite just completely out of her mind. It's there is some sort of conversation where he's giving her plenty of affirmation. It's all good. Everything's good. She's just a little bit more like beyond the shadow of a doubt ready. And he's a little bit more like, yeah, this process, I'm still kind of like just getting ready. I couldn't get married tomorrow, but these next 2 weeks I think are going to help me. Energy.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
so they said that, which kind of went, oh, got it. Okay. That at least gives a little more, like, where is she getting this? They seem so anyway, but he still is so locked in. Like he's still so like, I'm willing to move for you and let's do this and let's do this. So like really like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They very much are willing to do whatever it takes to make this work.
Out of anyone, I could see them getting...
Like at least getting to the altar.
No, I could see them getting married.
Right, getting married.
But also there's a large chance that it won't happen.
But I agree. I think they're the ones that could make it.
They're the ones who could make it, I think.
Because they're the less deep too. Like they don't ask any serious questions. They don't go anywhere. They're just kind of like...
Well, like we've talked about, I think they both have this thing about presenting a certain way.
Let's check the marriage box.
And it's like, she's who I would like to have as a wife. He's who I'd like to have as a husband, physically, energy-wise. And so we want to be a certain type of couple presenting to the world.
Exactly.
And I found my like that's what I get. It's not like this, like, oh, I fell in love and that's the love of my life energy by any means.
Agreed.
So I could see them pushing through their problems because they're like, well, I want to be married and you're in the box of what I was looking for.
Right.
We end up seeing his home.
Pretty sick.
Gorgeous.
It's very cool.
Gorgeous cabin in the woods. And inside, beautifully decorated.
Very nice. He's got, he's like a super athlete, I guess. Like, we didn't really realize. This guy's serious. Like, he's got like 50 like marathon trophies. He's a cross-country skier. He's an alpine slope.
He does it all.
He's built a gaming computer. He's got like a vintage cool car. I mean, he's giving the most successful guy on the show.
I know.
He's also giving like kind of got his shit together. And adventure extraordinaire. Now,
the one moment that he slipped into pod, Nick, was when he was looking at all the marathon, the medals.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, you ran all those? And he goes, oh, please.
That's like not even touching it.
Oh, please. I have a gajillion times more. These are just the ones I like the way that they looked. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, he's definitely proud of his situation in life.
He also then, when they were talking, he was just like, I do a lot of things. Is it intimidating to you?
Right. so embarrassing.
Here's the thing. Nick is a confusing character to me.
Super confusing.
Because in the pods, I couldn't stand him. Family, let's remember, this guy in the pods was out of control.
Right.
He was screwing over Kait, love bombing Deluxe. I love you. No, not religious. I take it back. I love you. Saying crazy things about kids, spanking the kids, horrific things about the LGBTQ community. I mean, like, he was, all he talked about was sex. It was so
really
about
weird.
his penis constantly. Yeah. And then he steps out of the pods and I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like, I don't know who that guy is. The guy in the pods was a completely different guy than he's been outside the pods. He's been really patient when Annie's been having her spiral moments.
100%.
He's stayed pretty, like, not nearly as, well, check this out, my martinis and cocky shit. Like, he's not saying, like, horrific things.
Now, who knows? There could be more that they're cutting. But from what they're giving us, he's chilled out a lot, which makes me really do feel like there's a level of, like, what he was playing a character, like to present himself in a cool. He seems like kind of in general like he's always playing a character. Like he's trying to kind of like present a thing. Like we don't really know who he is. He's kind of playing these characters. So I think in the pods he was trying to be like slick, cool, sexy guy, and so he was saying all this weird shit and like acting a certain way. And then because then you meet his mom and his mom's like, he's a super sensitive kid. Like, so I don't know what's going on with him. It's really hard to read him. And I think he plays roles depending on where he is.
I think he is 1,000,000,000%. I agree. I also though think that he right now is 100% playing for the camera.
100%.
Like out of everybody here, and you know how I feel about Joe.
But Joe was like, this guy's fake.
But Nick, and we hear it later too, Kait and Madison,
like
nobody likes him. They all think he's fake. Because they knew the guy in the pods.
Yeah.
And then they're like, who is this guy?
Right.
He did his thing in the pods, like you said, to try to like, I think
a failed attempt at being
cool. Pod guy is Nick.
Okay.
Way more than what we're seeing right now.
Got
I think pod guy is Nick. He revealed more of himself. He got looser in there because you're just kind of talking to a wall. It feels less reality TV. And now all of a sudden you're going to these events and there's a camera in your face. Like, I think he's now hardcore, this like polite, patient Nick playing a role.
Okay.
I think he wants to
I agree. There's something
get
really
followers,
weird.
Win over people.
But he's not realizing how unlikable he's coming across kind of a lot of the times.
Yes.
Like in the pods and stuff. He doesn't realize that it's coming across fake.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
But I think that I don't think pod or this version is completely Nick. I think he's playing roles for sure for the camera, but I do think pod version is more like Nick.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that no one liked him, according to kids, like that's means that everyone kind of can see through whatever this role he's playing. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about meeting Nick's family and then about the party. But we got to take one more quick pause. So family, I will say, seeing Nick's cabin in the snow, it reminded me that we are officially in that era where every weekend is a holiday party, a school event, an excuse for me to say, hang on, I need to change. This outfit isn't giving what it needs to give, okay? And lately, every single thing I'm reaching for these events is from Quince. Their pieces just elevate your style. Like I can throw on one of their $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters and suddenly I look like I just walked out of a chic boutique in a charming holiday movie. It is soft, it's structured, it doesn't pill, and it makes me feel like that main character during a very festive montage. It is high quality luxury for $50. And my winter put together mom coat, the one everyone keeps asking me about at drop off, okay? That is Quince's timeless trench in khaki. It's tailored warm and it makes me feel like I have my life together even when I absolutely do not. I am obsessed with Quince's coat, specifically this trench coat. I cannot get enough of it. It makes every outfit. It just elevates every single outfit.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, honestly, Jess is not exaggerating. Quince has become my gifting cheat code this year. Their stuff looks and feels designer, but it's priced like affordably. We're talking premium materials, but without the middleman markup. Everything's crafted in ethical, trusted factories, and you can tell from the fit and the stitching and the drape that the craftsmanship is legit. And I've been loving their men's sweaters and their travel accessories too. The quality for the price is just unreal. It's one of those rare brands where you open up the box and immediately go, oh, this is nice. Perfect for gifting, perfect for keeping. And yes, Jess already borrowed one of my sweaters, so now I guess it's hers. It's normal around here.
Yes, indeed it is. And let me just say, Quince's gifting options go way beyond clothing. I've already snagged one of their stoneware sets for a host gift and a cashmere scarf for my sister. And now I'm debating if I should keep the scarf for myself because it's giving cozy chic girl winter. No. I'm gonna be a good sister. I'm gonna give it to my sister. Okay. So if you want gifts that look thoughtful, luxe, and honestly way more expensive than they are, go straight to Quince. They nail that elevated, timeless vibe, the kind of pieces people actually use and they love for years. You wear these pieces from Quince for years and years and years. Okay. Find gifts so good you'll want to keep them with Quince. Go to quince.com/momdad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/momdad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/momdad. So back to Nick and Annie. After seeing the cabin, she definitely was like, I get why you want to stay here, but she works and has a place an hour away. And that was interesting to me where it was like, I can't be here. My work's an hour away. Now, listen, maybe it's because I live in Los Angeles and there's always hours of traffic.
Sure.
I'm like, that's not too wild, right? Like, I don't know.
No, but I think
driving an hour every day.
But I felt for her because she was actually, she said, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like what you have is incredible. She saw his jump in elevated serotonin when he got there. He was immediately happy and she felt bad. She's like, you deserve to be here. You've built this. This is incredible. You're so happy.
Yeah.
And I can't be here, which I do understand. Like, I wouldn't want to live in a place that's over an hour drive each way,
true.
2 hours of traffic, like 2 hours of driving a day is insane, right? Also, I don't think she fucks with it.
Yeah, it's
like,
not
I think
for her.
she's like, this is not my vibe. I'm a city girl. Like, nothing about her says I'm going to put on my skis and go ripping. Like, everything about her says I want to live in the city. I want to go to brunch. And I want to chill with my friends and kind of have cute nights.
Yeah.
Nothing about her says I want to be up in the mountains. So she's also kind of saying that too. Like, I have my business down there. I don't want to do this.
Which now I get why she thought he was a mountain man.
Right.
It all makes sense. When he was
like,
all of his athletic stuff that he lives in the mountains, I was like, okay, I get it.
So it was tough there. It was kind of like I would feel the same way as her, being like, whoa, like this is your dream situation. It couldn't be farther from my kind of energy.
Yeah. Well, she ends up meeting his family.
Yeah.
Which they all look like Annie and Nick. Like Annie could have been the daughter, 100%. No questions asked.
They're all a family.
They're all the same person.
Yeah, 100%.
And they are giving very wealthy energy.
Yeah.
Very
they
wealthy.
Have that. They look deep into your soul.
Like legacy wealth. Yeah. That's kind of what I was getting. Yes. Okay. Maybe that's why you got into luxury watch. I don't feel like you just get into luxury watch. You don't just
sales. I'm just going to start buying really expensive watches and selling. It's definitely a
legacy.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, we find out a little more about him, like how his mom keeps talking about how sensitive he is, how he wants to fix everything. That was kind of an interesting insight into Nick. But overall, it goes great. They love her. They were like, we didn't think we love her as much as we do. We think she's great for you. And it goes, I mean, honestly, as smoothly as possible. Then we get to the party.
Yeah.
So then we get to the rodeo group party, and Brendan's there.
Yeah.
So Brendan gets to come face to face with Annie, and it was a short-lived moment because Brendan walks up to Annie and is just kind of like, hey, nice to see you. And he's trying to play it like sexy
cool
suave.
Yeah.
And she is like, nope.
Dude, Annie has like a real nasty side to her. Like, you notice that? Like, even when she was like, Joe has a lot of Botox. And like when he walked up, she's like, no, you should have fought for me in the pods. Like, you're done. And then when later on she gets mad at him, she's like, I won't even look at him. Like, she's got this kind of like fake laughter thing going on. She always does. But realistically, dude, she's kind of like the gnarliest one there.
There's
like,
politician energy.
Dude, she's always like, ah. But then it's like,
her.
When she feels a certain way, it's like she is rolling those eyes. She is pissed. She is no joke.
And she then wanted nothing to do with Brendan, because if Brendan would have come to her and been like, hi, Annie, it's me. Oh my God, I can't believe you are so beautiful. If his biggest mistake is he tried to play it suave
cool
and sexy and cool and was like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
And she hated it. She's like, no, you come groveling hand and foot to me, licking my toes, telling me how obsessed you are with me, or I want nothing to do with you. And she's like, I'm so glad that I chose Nick.
Yeah.
Like, she wants someone who's obsessed with her, right?
He's trying to be so cool.
He's trying to play it cool. Now, on the flip side, Kait is there. Kait, who Nick declared his love to.
I really like Kait.
Kate's awesome.
She's got a really good energy, really cool vibe.
She's got great energy. Yeah. She also handled
probably why she's not on the show.
She handled.
To be honest with you,
I mean, honestly, probably why I wasn't successful. She handled the Nick conversation like a champion.
Because Nick tried to rewrite history. He tried to do the like, we all know. It's like if I cheated on you and then after our breakup, I'm like, we all make mistakes, and that's something we learned from our relationship. And it's like, no, you cheated on me. What are you talking about? So like that was his thing. He's like, I told you I loved you, and I loved you both, and I just had to choose. And she's like, no, you told me you loved me and that you couldn't get there with her. And he goes, no, I didn't. He's like, no. It's just and I got to break it off with you, and I'm sorry that hurt you. And she's just kind of like, all right, got it. Like after they went back and forth a couple times, she's like, I see where this is going. Like,
she just kind of nodded and was like, yeah, whatever. We'll say what you're going to say. He was trying
to be just like, it's fine. We all make mistakes. He tried to just rewrite the whole.
I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, that conversation where he said, no, I didn't say that in the reunion, we are given receipts.
Yeah.
I want him to have to face receipts, like on the show of like how he handled the Kait situation.
It was definitely like he was trying to just smooth. He was hoping that she'd be like, hey, it's all good, we're fine now. And he so he extra apologized for everything, but then he wouldn't admit that he said that.
And that was the picture to me of how I'm like, he's fake.
Yeah. This
is a character that we're getting because we saw how hot he got with her in the pods and and then how he just got mad and shut it down, and he was all over the place.
I still can't figure out what they like about each other. Because they both
Nick and Kait?
Yeah, no, Nick and Annie. I'm still kind of just like, I don't see what they like about each other. Like I'm not getting real from either of them.
Well, you heard what she said to the family. She was like, both of your parents are still together. You like nice watches. I like nice things.
Yeah, like that was their. It was very weird. It was like I
said, it's politician.
Yeah, it was like, where's the like?
Energy.
He's a guy that speaks to my heart. It's like it was just like, you like blue, I like blue. We have so much in common.
But that's why I think they could be the ones getting married, because I think it's kind of a facade for the world.
Facade.
It's just kind of this like picture to the world of like,
so
here we are, this type of couple, whatever. But what might end their relationship is he has this conversation with Kait, and then we see the girls. Allie comes over and says to Annie, and she goes, oh yeah, Nick was love bombing Kait. Yeah. And Annie goes, no, he wasn't. He said he loved me more, and he didn't want to focus on anyone else, and that's kind of how it wrapped. And Allie goes, well, I heard a different story from Kait.
I think Annie kind of low-key hates Allie. Did you ever catch that? Like they're in a group, and she's always just kind of looking at her like, get away from me. Like she kind of hates her. And then Allie's just kind of obliviously honest and just says things. Yeah. And Annie's so calculated that I think it drives her mental, and she thinks that Annie's constantly trying, or that Allie's kind of constantly trying to get her.
Yeah. And Allie's just kind of saying,
Allie's just like, yeah, interesting. Yeah, my relationship sucks in this way, and I think yours does this way. And it's like, yeah.
But Annie hears that. And so now
And it
Annie
does
just
not
got
go
told
well.
that Nick might have been lying to her.
Correct.
And we've seen how Annie handles these type of things. And we see Nick walk up to her and he goes, I want to see you ride the bull. And she
won't even look at him.
Won't
and he's just
even
kind of like,
look at him.
Yeah.
And he goes,
he's not even tracking with
okay.
like the fact that he's like, doesn't even like really.
But then he realizes it and he goes,
Yeah,
okay. And he walks away. And I'm like, oh, sir, you are in for it when you guys get home.
Wait. Because I think she's capable of some serious rage. And I'm looking forward to it.
It is going to go down.
No more fake laughs coming up.
This might be what ends.
This might be the one.
This might be what ends the relationship.
I'm really looking forward to it.
And if this ends the relationship, then we're going to see, she's going to come on the reunion and she's going to come in with a like, she's just going to be like, what was done to me? Like, it's going to be so over the top. Like, 100%. I can just feel it. So 100%. We'll see. Yeah, like I said, it's this weird feeling of like, it's either going to totally end here or they're going to shove down their emotions and stay superficial and get married. And then, you know, who knows? Later, and then be together for 40 years and just hate each other.
I mean, that's kind of the way, you know?
Okay. Let's talk next about Sparkle and Jordan. Yeah. So first, by the way, we see Jordan's place and these men are very clean. Very, very clean. His place is clean.
But it's Megan's nightmare. I mean, his bed is in the kitchen. Like
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a 1 bedroom, and then like the kid has the bedroom.
Luca's room.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying Megan is so not that person that she's like, this is great, very cute. I've already called my realtor since I've been here. From the bathroom, I called him.
You know what though?
She's so cool about
Sparkle,
it though. I thought Sparkle would have been long gone by now.
Sparkle right away acknowledges how nice his place is. She acknowledges how clean it is, how he's decorated it nicely. There is not 1 ounce of her that has judgment. No. There is not 1 ounce of her that's like, I can't do this.
No.
And does she call her realtor right away? Yes. But there's nothing about her that's shouting like, oh, I can't do this.
No.
Like,
I'm very impressed by her.
I'm impressed by Sparkle too.
Because not only is he not financially where she is, and she has always wanted to date people on her vibe, but he also has a child. Yeah. Which is a whole nother thing. Yeah. And she's bodying that too.
And when she sees Luca's room and then she sees the stuffy that had like the glucose monitor on it.
She's crying. She starts crying. Engaged emotionally.
And she's like, hey, like, you know, and now I knew this because of like what my dad went through and Luca. And what Jordan says later in the episode is that through everything, Sparkle's priority is always to make sure that Luca is included, that Luca's mom is okay with everything. Sparkle's
willing to sell her house in LA.
Yes.
To help buy a very nice place for the whole family to live in. Like, dude, talk about all in.
And Sparkle is like, I want to make sure Luca's comfortable with this. I want to make sure Luca's mom is comfortable with this. Sparkle is giving amazing step parent.
Yes.
Like I've never been a step parent, but I've witnessed friends become step parents and the step parents in my life. Being a step parent is people who are step parents do not get as much like love and acknowledgement as is deserved.
Hardcore.
It is so, I can't even imagine how challenging it is and just the dynamic of everything. And that is like such an incredible job to be a step parent. And Sparkle is giving amazing stepmom. And watching it makes my heart warm thinking about if I was Luca's mom, to know that there is a woman who's concerned about how I feel in the process, concerned about my son before even knowing him, on TV later when they have the rodeo party and the girls are kind of trying to get Megan to talk shit a little bit on Luca's mom, where they're like, is she cute though? Da 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 da. And Sparkle is just like, she is very cute and she's wonderful. And it wasn't like family, but it was chill and it was great. She's not talking shit. I was so impressed. So I just have to say that.
I was too. I was like, her dedication to this process is pretty amazing.
Sparkle's in.
Like if I was him, I'd be like, dude, you got a good one on your hands.
Yeah,
like, she
Jordan
is rich and down to earth and selfless and sweet. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, dude. Listen.
And he's intimidated by it.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
He's a little bit like, this woman's kind of out of my league. Like, I hate to say it, but she kind of is. She's like crushing it on all fronts. She's beautiful and she's like super dedicated. And I am insecure about the fact that like I might be moving into her $2 million house. Like, he's like, I don't want to mooch off her. I don't want to whatever this, which is valid. I think it's valid to feel that way, to feel like, oh, this is kind of unknown territory for me. But as long as he doesn't let it eat him up and ruin their possible relationship for those reasons, like I think it's in a good spot. But she's rock star.
And, you know, I just feel like we at the very beginning when Sparkle kept talking about how she can't make it work because all these men are intimidated by her, and we were all kind of like, okay, Sparkle, I believe it.
Yeah.
Sparkle kind of is like the full package.
Yeah.
I just have to say.
Yeah, but her obsession with him and sweetness is pretty shocking.
I know.
I just assumed at some point she'd be kind of like,
Off
I like
it.
him a lot, but I'm a little, you know, I kind of need...
we still have
like,
some extra episodes.
Sure. But it's just so far. She's very like...
I know.
You know.
I know. Well, and then we meet Sparkle's mom and sister, and I loved them.
They're great. They're funniest. They were the funniest. They seem the most down to earth. I would want to hang out with them the most.
Her mom is hilarious.
They're making jokes. They're very
She's
down to
like,
earth.
oh,
cool.
you don't need sleeves because you already have them. And can I borrow that shirt? And I mean, she's like, they're so open and welcoming.
Yeah.
And then her sister's like crying, saying, I had a dream that it was Jordan because like in my dream, it was like, yeah, he has the son and he's diabetic. And I don't know. They like fully
Very
connected and they were so open to Jordan. Now, I will say I found it interesting when Sparkle was in front of Jordan a little bit like, well, can I talk about what happened today? And like fully put like, yeah, he didn't come to me this morning because of the anniversary of my dad's passing and he didn't do that. But you know, that was interesting. Like,
it was interesting, but I also think that like me and you aren't used to families like that, where you just like say what's going on in your like full realness like
That's
that.
true.
Like I think that like, you know, it's kind of a beautiful thing that you can just talk openly.
It is a beautiful thing.
What it means is no one has secrets. Is that she's not secretive. She's not trying to push in front of her family and him a false narrative. Super real about stuff.
Yeah.
Like as jarring as that might be, I do think it's overall good because it's like, yo, I'm not trying to portray to my family some fake that everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Like here's maybe some things we've struggled with.
And then, you know, shout out to Jordan after she says that in front of them. Jordan's like, yeah, you know what? I have to take accountability. I had zero thought going into this morning. Like he fully owned it. Also, you know, shout out, I haven't mentioned this, the fact that he as a man has gotten a vasectomy and is like, yeah, I'm going to reverse it. Like instead of just assuming that a woman's going to be on birth control or whatever. Was so funny.
She's like very progressive of you.
I know, but it was like to hear that as a woman and to be like the guy took an initiative to get a vasectomy and isn't putting it on the woman. Like I was like, okay, Jordan, like here we go.
Yeah, strike that. They actually might be the ones that make it.
I know. Okay. So about Nick and Nanny, I think if anyone's going to make it, I get Sparkle and Jordan, but there are just so many hills for them to climb and floating variables. And now hearing that Luca can't live with them during this process, and which of course, completely understandable, but just all of the floating variables, I think their hill is harder to climb. So I don't think it's going to ultimately work out. But I think that they'd be the best together. Yeah,
actually. They also seem like the two most mature people by a mile.
I think they're the most in love.
I think they're the most in love. I think they're the most mature.
Yes,
agreed. They also have the most hills to climb, so that's tough.
Yeah. So, like you said, she called the realtor. They're looking for a home. Yeah. You know, she
sick
is
house. She's balling. She's balling. She's sick.
She's like 5,600 square feet.
Yeah, she's insane. Like, you know, you're gonna need guests. You're gonna need like this. This is normal to her. He's like Orphan Annie, dude. He's like, what is this place?
I think I'm gonna like it here.
Yeah. Or actually, he's a little bit too much. He's like, why do we need all these rooms for? You know what I mean? Like, she's like, what? What do you mean? I've never heard anyone say there's too many rooms. Like, that's how you, what are you talking about? And she goes, the one thing I'm unwilling, remember she said, the number one thing I'm unwilling to compromise on is a nice house.
Yeah.
So she's like, this is
where
I gotta
she draws
be in a
the line.
baller spot.
And me living in Los Angeles, I'm like 5,600. I'm like 800 square feet is at $1.5 million in LA. Dude, I'm just like 5,600. Like, it's crazy. I mean, like this house is massive. It is. Sick. I'm like, what are you gonna do with all that space? Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing.
No, it's not my style. To be honest with you, it's like that new build black and white energy. It's not. I know you like an older. I like a little character, soulless, but beautiful.
Well, he made me giggle too because I don't know if you noticed his Roomba in his house.
He's like, we need 4 Roombas here.
4 Roombas. Cute. That was sweet.
He's
that
like,
was
Roomba's
so
my
sweet.
bougie.
But again, like you said, he's struggling because he's like, I don't want to be a mooch, but I don't want her to compromise my lifestyle. And I was like, Jordan, you're not being one because she wants you to be part of it.
But he needs to come to terms with that. Like as him, he needs to come to terms with the fact that like you're either going to let her pay for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
or you're going to not be together.
Yeah.
But you can't have it be, you know what I mean? You just got to know this is the reality. So you either step into it or you don't.
Well, then we have the Western rodeo party. And that's where Mike shows up. And Evan, that guy is a piece
sucks.
of
Like, he literally was trying to steal Yo Girl, like, right there. Like, the whole time he's like, are you even happy? Are you like, is this even good for you? Do you even like him? Oh, you do? Okay, you regretting it? Okay, well, I'm sorry for where I messed up, but, like, to be honest with you, like, if it wasn't, like, I was going to slide into your DMs and I was trying to be cool. Like, he was not a good guy at all. He was, now, there is a level of, like, do you shoot your shot still? Do you like, I'm not friends with Jordan. So it's like,
there's a way to shoot your shot without doing what he did.
But he was looking for any crack.
Even the fact when he walked up and she was standing next to Jordan and he right away just went in for a full hug, didn't acknowledge Jordan, and then came over and like patted him on the back like Jordan was a kid and goes, buddy? I'm going to take your girl.
And then he asked her to dance.
And then he said, do you want to dance?
She would have said yes, they would have danced in front of him.
That's crazy. Wild. And she was like, no.
But I love that she kind of allowed herself to flirt a little bit.
Well, she said, there's chemistry for sure.
She allowed herself to flirt, but she was still super respectful and still like bodied the whole situation and didn't let him through the cracks. And I thought that, she's a boss.
But when he says, did you get your emerald cut? Yeah. He's like, well, I would have gotten one for you.
Like, he was being ridiculous. Loser, dude. Like,
now I will say this. He goes, did you make a mistake? And she pauses. And then she says, no.
I don't know though. I don't know if that was editing. I was thinking about that. I was like, that was a really long pause. I felt like that was cut. Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like that was a bite.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either because, like I said, I think, or like you said, I think she bodied it. Like I think she was playful and flirty, but she was also super respectful. But she was also honest. But I do think like seeing him did ruffle her feathers a little bit because, like she said, he's so her typical type.
Exactly.
But what I love that she did say to him is when he mentions that he was going to slide into her DMs, she's like, see, you're the typical type of guy and I don't know if I trust you not to cheat on me.
Right. And he was like, fair.
And I was like, you know what? I love that she said that, where I was like, hey, this has been my history. And yeah, you're doing this whole like va-va-voom thing to me, but like, how do I know that you're not doing it to 12 other people? Like, I don't know. And this is, I'm good with Jordan. Yeah. Interesting. We shall see. But again, I think they're the most in love. I think they're the most mature, but they have the most hills to climb at the same time. Maybe more hills than we've ever seen on the show.
Yeah.
But love to hear like a healthy dynamic, like hearing about like Jordan and his ex and how they're
other than
friends.
Jordan with Joe.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
But it does make me nervous.
It is weird.
There's something about
why is it that he's so tempted to be around this guy that makes him act like a child?
I don't ever feel fully settled with Jordan because of that, where I feel fully settled with Sparkle. Sparkle, I fully trust.
She's locked. She's in control.
Watch me all of a sudden pulls a fast one. Okay. We have Kalybriah and Edmond left to talk about, and also Patrick. I want to wrap talking about Patrick because we saw him at the party and we saw a conversation with him and Hannah, and we heard some information about him and Kacie that was wild. But let's talk about Kalybriah and Edmond next. Oh, here's my thing, family. I feel like the reason when we're going through the couples, like I keep getting to Kalybriah and Edmond last is because I feel like, and I said this last week, I just feel like watching their dynamic, specifically Edmond, like I said last week, it just, with everything he's been through, the trauma he's been through, the way that he's like feeling the need for affirmation and validation and struggling, I feel like this show is not healthy for him. And so there's this overwhelming, at least for me, maybe I'm totally off, but there's this overwhelming energy of like, I even just want to be like careful how I like discuss certain things involving him, because I just don't feel like this is a healthy space for him. And I feel like this show is too stressful. There were numerous moments specifically in this episode where, jumping ahead to the party at the very end, and trigger warning to this regarding mental health, but when he came back in a panic and kept saying like, I might die. Like, I'm not assuming anything with him, but I also felt like this is a conversation that they need to bring in a therapist. They need to make sure Edmond's okay. I don't know. That was just the overwhelming feeling for me, just like with the dynamic. So I think, I don't know. That's kind of like how I'm feeling.
I mean, listen, there's not like a lot of action that has been going on with them. It's more like there's just a couple convos and then it reveals a lot, you know? So for me, the total overall feeling I have is that he desires one thing, and that is to find someone who loves him for exactly who he is and all his quirks and all his silliness and his energy and his youthfulness and his rollerblading and everything that he might feel insecure about exposing to someone that he likes. So that's like his number one, is like, do you love me? I love you. And can we just say that? And if you are cool with that, then we're cool. And so like that's his like most sensitive and like aware. And I think sex is a part of that. The fact that she's not having sex with him too makes him feel like you don't love me. There's something wrong with me, whatever. And so he's very sensitive. Even remember later on, he's like, well, I love you. I love you. He keeps saying, I love you. She's like, stop telling me you love me. Like, that's not what we're talking about here.
I need you to answer my questions.
Because his whole thing is, I just need you to tell me that you love me. There's obviously like abandonment stuff there. There's so much there that makes him feel this way, where like there's a real need to just be like, we love each other, right? And her thing is this, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just from what I see. I think her big thing is that she's not in love with him. Mm-hmm. She likes him a lot. She cares for him almost like a mother. Yeah. She cares for him almost like a big sister. She's not into him like a romantic partner. So she's going out of her way to be affirming. So when later on he goes, oh, it'd be nice to tell that you're perfect, she snaps. Because she's trying so hard at something that's not coming naturally. Because
I had noticed numerous times, specifically in this episode, her being super affirming to him. Yes. When they got to the party, he got on the bull first and she was filming him and she goes, there's my man, look at him go. Like she was like making like, showing everybody like, hey, how amazing is my guy, and being very affirming to him.
But her snapping at the party was because I think she's trying so hard at doing something that's not coming naturally for her. It's like a labor of love. Because she doesn't feel those things about him. Yeah. She doesn't feel like he's amazing for her. She doesn't feel massively attracted to him. She's trying to do these things that aren't coming naturally. She's going out of her way. So it's hard. So when he's saying you're not doing a good job at it, it's like trigger, because it's like, I'm trying so hard, versus if it was natural, she wouldn't be like, oh, what's the problem? So I just really feel they're not meant for each other. Yeah. I really feel now that she's going out of her way to kind of like make it happen. He's feeling super insecure because, again, he can kind of sense that probably something's off, that she's not really feeling it all the way, that there's something weird. And I do feel like they're in this position now. Like he's kind of, you could almost tell he's kind of pulling back a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's not quite as excited as he seemed. He doesn't seem to be, she seems to be kind of overdoing the like, he's amazing. And it's like, she was never doing that at the beginning. That's not her personality. It doesn't seem like, it seems like she's real. They're both going, I don't know. It's just something's off. And I feel like it's kind of happened. Like the breakup's already happened. Now we're just waiting for it to happen.
I know. And I think, well, when we met his mom towards the beginning of the episodes, and that was interesting for me too, because I felt like, obviously she was super kind when Kalybriah was there. She was like giving her like she was going to give her the beads from Ghana and was like welcoming her into the family. And, Kalybriah was wonderful with Edmond's mom. But I was noting a couple things. I was noting that Edmond, and maybe it's because he was busy making breakfast, but I found it was interesting that he was never like turning around and engaging. Yeah. Even when Kalybriah was saying nice things about Edmond, he wasn't engaging. And there was like a somberness there. And then when Kalybriah left, Edmond's mom was like, well, you do a good job about when it comes to picking a partner, but your aunt and I saw her Instagram and we didn't like it. And you could tell them that he was like trying to process that. And then when Kalybriah came back, his mom was talking about like, well, she's a good one. She'll like kind of like talk shit with me, but my other daughter-in-laws won't. They'll go and tell their husbands. So there was a dynamic where I was like, Kalybriah, this is going to be tough, because I feel like that's going to be a tough dynamic where I wasn't sure where mom was at, where mom was like kind of talking shit about some of the other daughter-in-laws, and then talking shit about Kalybriah behind her back a little bit, but then, and Edmond seemed stressed. The dynamic was just like, it was stressing. It was stressful watching it. But then, it was just, But then it was sweet because it's like then he like buys her these rollerblades and they have these really sweet moments together. I feel like they're
both very sweet people who just aren't meant for each other.
I agree. And I feel like they mesh really well together in a friendship dynamic. But like she said, with her work where she's involved in social work and all these things, I feel like I see her kind of therapizing him and being like that motherly figure there for him. But then she needs a partner.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't think he's the right fit for her in that. But then I want him to be able to also feel
sink into someone kind of vibe.
Validated and feel like he can fully be himself. But like I said, over and over and over again, a show like this, I could never be on. It would break me apart mentally. Yeah. And I feel like for Edmond, with everything he's walked through, I feel like the show is not good for his mental health. And again, I can't project it if he loved the experience, but I don't know. Then watching that at the party where basically he is talking to Annie and Nick, and Annie says that Nick is perfect. And Edmond's like, that would be nice to hear from somebody. Yeah. And like you said, of course it frustrates Kalybriah because it's like, I've been giving you all this and saying all these things. And then when she walks off and he follows her and he won't give her a direct answer, something happened that we don't know about. They mention an earlier confrontation that they had, and we don't hear the details of it. So something was already brewing before they showed up to the party, it seems. And it just ends with her like not wanting to engage with him. Yeah. And I don't know.
Tough.
I don't know. It's just one of those ones where it's like,
you're just kind of slowly marching to the end, it feels like. Just like, here it comes. No, not this episode. Oh, here no.
And with some of obviously with some of the couples, even the ones where it's like toxic and crazy, like there's like kind of funny dynamics where you're just like, oh, we could talk about this and that's crazy and that's wild. I think because I like Edmond and I like Kalybriah, and I feel like I worry about like how he's doing in this process, that I'm just like, I don't like watching this go down because I don't feel like it's good. And so it's watching it is
you're kind of like, both seem like great people, just not the right fit. Now, I will say it is interesting. Did you notice in the preview, she was like, the truth will come out at the wedding, or she said something in the preview.
I didn't hear that.
Maybe it was Frankenbit or something, but like, it was something like, the truth will come out.
Said this?
Yeah, like her voice in the preview was like, the truth will come out at the wedding or in the altar or something. Who knows?
Like maybe
that.
I'll now feel very differently about Edmond.
Maybe that was just a teaser thing, but I thought it said something like that.
Who
so
knows?
We'll see.
Now I might all of a sudden be like, never mind.
Right.
Edmond,
well, no, I'm saying as of now,
But that's kind of that was kind of their dynamic. All right, let's lastly talk about Patrick, because Patrick showed up to the group party, the rodeo, and we find out he's talking to the guys about Kacie. Yeah. He has not seen her.
She took the ring too, which is gnarly.
And then that's bananas.
Like, she's like, yeah, it just stopped talking to him and just took his ring.
She took the ring.
That's brutal. It's like, dude, at least give him back the ring. After you embarrassed him on television, you left him standing there, you left him on red, and then you don't give him the ring. That's crazy. That's like bad person. No, that's like robbery.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
She's a thief.
That's robbery. Maybe I'm wrong, guys, but like, if you don't go through with an engagement, you cannot, or like if you don't go through with getting married, don't you think it should be like you give back the ring? Well, unless someone does something wrong to you. If it's just mutual, like, hey, we decided not to be together. If someone doesn't give back a ring, that seems crazy.
I think that this is...
'Cause it's like, well, you're going to do it. You're going to have that ring. Like, you're going to sell it. Like, that's insane.
It very much depends on the dynamic. But I feel like in this situation, they're given a ring. So I don't think that he should get the ring and then he can just get all the money. I think that they should just be like, hey, let's sell the ring and we can split the money. She's not doing that. Yeah, okay. I will say it's different to production.
If he's given that, I know Google said it, but like if it's true that they don't pay for the ring, if that's true, I understand her taking it a lot more. But if he paid for it, and gave it to her, and 3 hours later she leaves and steals the ring, that I think there should be a police report filed.
No, honestly, no, 100%. That is absolute thievery.
Crazy,
that's full robbery if that's the case.
2 hours in.
But I'm literally almost 100% sure
if they don't pay, then
production gives it to them. Yeah. But then also too, but still.
No, I'm saying it's better. It's not as bad.
I'm saying still production.
It's still nuts.
And you just take the ring and you just get thousands of dollars after the show. Like, well, you
we don't feel
split
bad
the
for
money.
But Yeah, I mean,
no, but I'm talking about for him. He should have part of the money.
I agree, but I'm saying I wouldn't feel as bad because I wasn't like I spent $5,000 and lost it. Yeah,
but I mean, it's just she basically then had said to him too. She was like, well. She wouldn't answer his calls. It seems like they texted back and forth a little bit. But she wouldn't answer his calls. She wouldn't see him. And then she's like, well, just tell everyone we're broken up for now and that we need to talk still. And he's like, okay. I mean, he goes, that's day one getting back. Yeah. She's like, let's just tell everybody we broke up. So it'd be a fun game if we just tell everybody that we broke up. How about that? I mean, that's, by the way, still doesn't
have her number, like talking through Instagram.
So, of course, she didn't show up to the party.
Of course.
She better fucking show up to the reunion. If she does not show up to the reunion, that is a garbage. Like we need to talk to Kacie. I immediately show up to the reunion. Like that's ridiculous.
Up, hopefully.
There have been the amount of people who have had to come to the reunion with their tail between their legs. You better show up. But who does show up is Anna.
Yeah.
So Anna walks up to Patrick, and Patrick right away goes, that's my girl. If she would have stayed, we would have been together. I was like, okay, Patrick, let's...
He's just unhinged.
I know, but I was like, listen, I fault Patrick for nothing after having to deal with Kacie. I'm like, let the guy
go.
But he kind of... To do that in front of everyone was a little unhinged, where it was like, okay, just let her... She would have been my one if she wouldn't have left.
Yeah, and they talk, and it's like, she's kind of going, hey, it's like, I kind of reinforced my point struggling with this whole thing where it's like, you just chose the next person. And he's like, well, you're my number one. And she's like, yeah, but if that doesn't make sense if you just like then just like got married to the next person. You're not really proving. But I do think that like he was going to choose her.
I think so
But
too.
I do think the fact that he just chose the next option after she left shows he was operating just from insecurity the whole time.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? The fact that he's like, I just want someone to love me, so I'll just pick one of the two, whoever says yes, kind of energy.
Yeah.
Kind of had that, you know what I mean? And I understand from her perspective being like, yeah, it didn't make me feel good. It reinforced my problems with like this whole process, knowing that like the second I left, you just chose the next person.
Which I totally understand. What I didn't love though, to be honest, was when she left, she didn't know he was going to choose Kacie.
Well, no, it didn't justify her leaving at all.
And that's my thing. I felt like in the conversation, again, maybe it was edited, but I felt like she didn't really spend a good amount of time or empathy in like
what she did to him. Yeah, yes. I agree completely.
I felt like she kind of just right away was like, well, of course I left. Look at you. Right. I was right. You left. You ran and chose
like, just because you were proven right about your issue doesn't mean that the way you did it was right.
Like, you need to be a little more like understanding, I think, and be like, hey, I'm really sorry that I just went up and left. Here's what went down. I don't think it's like oh my God, she should come groveling. Like, I'm so sorry.
No, but
just being
you left him,
but understanding instead of stranded. It just kind of making him then feel like
double. Poor
away.
Guy, crushed.
But I will say there's maybe a chance that these two tried to go on a date again.
You never know.
Because he seemed into her. He was like, you should have been my one. Like, he was vibing. And she didn't seem like not into him. I think she seemed annoyed that he would hurt her by choosing Kacie. But like, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We'll see at the reunion if these two have gone out on a date. Or if she went out on a date with the other guy. Now I've already forgotten his name. Sorry. But anywho, wow. Lots and lots. That was... a lot that just went down in 2 episodes. It's wild, family. It's so much wild stuff. Well, tune in next week, next Wednesday, for another Love is Blind recap. Like I said, we're covering episodes 10 and 11. And then next Friday, 12 and 13, which is the wedding and the reunion. Yes. And then the following week after that, we're going to do some call homes and some fun holidayness. So make sure to send in all of those call home voicemails. And we love you so very much.
Have a great weekend.
Goodbye.
Bye.